Hi, I'm Pastor Kathy Wiegand, and today I am in the attic at Algoma Boulevard United Methodist Church. Attics and basements and crawl spaces and secret hidey holes are my favorite parts of old churches and old buildings in general. One of the things I love about attics is you can find so many things stashed up in there, and sometimes when you're looking, you find trash, and other times you find treasure. The attic here at Algoma Boulevard has an amazing assortment of stuff, but it has some beautiful history that has been stored in this space for years. Some of the history of our congregation lives in our attic. We have the old chairs from the sanctuary that stay up here. They are old and beat up and beautiful. With some love and some restoration, it would be amazing to bring them back into our worship space. Up here we also have beautiful old wooden doors that are on rollers, and they fit into a track that's in Payne Hall that used to help divide the room into two separate rooms. One of the coolest parts of this attic is that it shows where two of our buildings come together. I'm standing in the old part of the building, the part of Payne Hall that was built in the early 1900s. But if I were to take a few steps in the other direction, I would be standing in the newer building, the building that was put up in 1993. Now, what's so cool about that is that if you came from the old part of the building up into the attic, you would come straight up a flight of stairs. But if you were going to go into the new part of the building, it would be a half a flight of stairs. Our buildings don't line up quite right. And frankly, I love what that says about us as a people of faith. We don't always have to agree on everything. We don't always have to line up on everything. But we still gather as people of faith. We are still connected through our faith. We remain connected even in our differences, even in the places where we don't necessarily line up. We have been praying Mark 12, 30, and 31 every day for months. And as we've taken these tours in our building, we've been looking at the great commandment that Jesus gave us to love God and to love our neighbors. And we've been asking about how we can use our building, use our space to share God's love and to reach out into our neighborhood. As we pray that prayer, we are reminded of all of the ways that we can make a difference. Attics remind me of the treasures that we can find when we begin to look. Can you imagine the people and the treasures that are in our neighborhood that we have not yet met or discovered? It's an amazing thing to think about all the things we could find if we looked beyond our doors and experienced our neighborhood in new ways. This attic reminds me of ways that we can be reminded always to connect with people, to find ways where we don't line up necessarily, but to know that there is a connection point to be made, a door that connects maybe to a full flight of stairs, maybe to a partial flight of stairs. Regardless, we know that God is calling us to reach out, to love our neighbors, to connect with all sorts of people, and to do all that we can to bring God's love into the world. This attic is a beautiful reminder of our church's history. It's a reminder of the mess that we sometimes are as a congregation. It reminds us of the treasures that can be found and the ways we can connect with people through God's love and God's grace.